In the last video we saw how simple it is to create basic React application using Create React App. Now it is important to understand the files and folders involved and how the control flows when you run the application. So take a look at this video to understand the Hello World project in Visual Studio Code, and you can see in the root level the project contains 3 folders and 4 files. Now take a look at the 4 files. There has package.json file. That file contains the dependencies and scripts required for the project. Here we show React version 16.13.1, and that is listed as a dependency. Here also some scripts to build and run the application of React.js. You have just npm as a package manager. You are looking package lock files. They simply ensure the installation of your dependency. And you don't really have to worry about that. We have also a git ignore and a readme file. Now let's talk about the folders. Firstly, we see node modules in which all the dependencies are installed. It is generated when we run create React app command, or when you run npm install, then the next folder is the public folder. This folder contains 3 files. Out of 3 files, manifest.json is concerned with progressive web app. And there has a fav icon, which you see the browser tab, and this is nothing React specifically. So as the beginner you only have to concentrate on the index.html file. The index.html is only the HTML file in your React application. We build a single page application, and the view might dynamically change in the browser, but it is this HTML file that gets served up. You are not going to add any code in this file, maybe some changes in head tag, but not in the body tag. So you won't react to control the UI, and for the purpose, we have one div tag with id is equal to root at runtime. The React application takes over this div tag and is ultimately responsible for the UI. Please note of the div tag, we come back in shortly. The next folder is the source folder, which folder you will be working with the most during development. The starting point for React application is index.js. In this index.js, we specify the root component, which is the app component, and the DOM element, which will be controlled by React. The example of a DOM element is the element with id root, and this can recollect in the index.html file. We call this div element as the root DOM node because of everything inside in it. It will be controlled by React. For the Hello World application, the app component is rendered inside in the root DOM node. And that brings us to the app component, which is present in app.js. In the other words, the app component represents the view which we see in browser. With app.js, Create React App also generated the app.css file for styling, app.test.js file for unit test, the app.css file, which contains classes that are applied in the app component. And this test.js contains a simple test case. We also have an index.css file that applies in the styles to the body tag. And the logo SVG is referenced in the app componential. We have service worker.js, which is again concerned with progressive web apps and can be ignored as a beginner. And that is the folder structure of React application created using Create React App. When you command npm start, then index.html is visible in the browser. The index.html contains the root DOM node and control index.js Reactum. When there's the app component on the root DOM node, the app component contains the HTML which is displayed in the browser. Here we saw the structure of the React application. In the next video, we will see the concepts of components and why and where components are used. Till the next video, you will see our first and today's video. We will see you next week. Till then, stay safe and connected with us. Thank you.